Mr. Wright, what? Our trial's always like this with you. Like you're swimming up from the bottom of the lake about to reach the surface. But no matter how you paddle, you never seem to get there. Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called out to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell you the truth. Hold up, partner. Oh great, it's this guy. And they say show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a young'un, at least. Thought I'd come take a look and see how the trial is going. Looks like I'm late. I've got this place locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen there these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough of your plate without worrying about the people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. No, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze over a blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She's wearing a red muffler. At the award ceremony that afternoon, Edward's seen it too, I'd reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. The star wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns, and sometimes you just gotta let the bull go where it will. Ugh. Great. So what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooey. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Oh, something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue and your lips are purple. You're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over. Your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well, then I believe it is time we continued on the trial. During a recess, had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. It's unacceptable. What the fuck happened, dude? What happened? It seems the prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock. Who's there? What the fuck? Who's this guy? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aroma seems to be filling the courtroom. I don't like how it just pauses on him like that. Temperature rose 7.7 degrees when the man came in. Who on earth is he? Why is it doing it? What the fuck? It's a little weird, don't you think? Yeah, it's you. Why is it doing that, dude? Heh. Sorry I'm late, Udgy. The road were packed, it's just me. Long time no see, Udgy. How you been? Swim much these days? Hello. Nah, I've been so busy. Busy, smizzy, Udgy. My boy, you have to make time to relax. Udgy seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. I'm very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Haha, so you're Righto, the attorney. Heard good things about you, son. I don't trust this guy one bit. What the fuck was that long? What's with those long pauses? So sorry about a little worthy. Sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? Worthy Edgeworth, okay. You know, we should all go swimming together sometime, jolly. Little worthy. Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? That's him? He's the chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Dude, he's corrupt as fuck then. What's up with his, like, putting a guy on detective duty for the investigation? His name's Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since the last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at this poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out. Bringing this. That's my sister's muffler. Mr. wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, this guy really was wearing this muffler. Why'd you take it off? I would think that it was stuffed into the exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less. What the fuck? Surely quite embarrassing even for us. What's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife, quite perplexing. Is that the... another knife? Is that... what the fuck? Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If you investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? No, wait a minute, Worthy. No, what the fuck? You have no desire to hear excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Yeah, I don't like this guy one bit. Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistake in that signature. Miles Edgeworth. That's no fair. The day of the crime I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What the fuck? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. It's the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. What? Kind of major blunders unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. Blade, Your Honor. Well, I don't see why not. Can you open it for me, I wonder? I think all I had to do is push that switch and... if I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point at people anymore. Just hurry up and open it. You're really making me do this? You're making me do this right now? Hold on, I have to examine this. Small tag on this knife. It seems to say... What does that mean? Well, I've heard something somewhere. Not certain, but I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters that looked a lot like this somehow. Dude. It all comes together. Is that a broken knife too? Don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off, and this dark red stain, blood. Where's the other broken part of the knife? Hold on. SL9, but the -2 or whatever. What does that mean? This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. Where's the other piece of the knife? I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing, not a problem, not even a little one, really. He also has a cross for a tie. The knife is special, but I can't say how here, unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. The detective was killed at the police department. See, what a mess. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department, detective. That's hush-hush information, Udgy. You haven't exactly announced it yet. What the what? Wait a second. You said 5:15? That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. This is the cutscene. 2 people died at the same time. Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might as well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? We say this to like a public court. I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. Chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well, however, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Well, I want to just present one little thing. Just one little thing. Wait a second. Alas, an honest to goodness objection. The knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? And honest to goodness, what do you mean from the judge? This is great. Look at this tag on the knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 67S 122? Your Honor, it's upside down. The printed name of the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? February 21st, SL9. When he wrote this note, he was holding the paper upside down. The same thing that was written on the knife's tag. Well, Chief. Well, I guess that cat's out of the bag. You win, righto. I win. What game is this guy playing? Evidence in the case, it was stolen from the department's evidence room. So the knife was stolen. Yes, but on the day of the murder. There's evidence, you say? Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice, good show, little worthy use a murder weapon as it happens. It's a good clap. There's evidence from a case long since solved. The knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edward's car. Why? Hard to think there isn't a connection there. You're telling me. Bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. Something didn't happen at the police department too, did it? You got a good look in your eyes there, right, my boy, sharp, hungry. Did something happen, and why haven't I heard? Oh, okay. Why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand we were busy with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? The detective was killed, the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department. That's a fact surprising, isn't it, Udgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there's a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Wright. I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. The kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. We already know when the victim died. The victim was killed with a stabbing. Tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room of the police department. Evidence room? I have heard of that. Evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? The knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy. Happy we just got handed a ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. Not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. Chief, the defense position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Yeah, you don't say. Well, out with it, righto. What's your connection? How do you not connect the two? Connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. Knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had written down the number on the knife's evidence bit tag. And we also know the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed, there do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you just did right there. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Really? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. Who would have guessed? That would work. I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? Two detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be coincidence. And that knife. What was it doing there? I'd better check this knife out. Knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen in the department of evidence room. So the knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say? Was it in fact a murder weapon? Good, so little worthy it was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. The knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edward's car. Or do you think there's any connection there? That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do any of this. Time of the crime, 5:15, scary coincidence. Quality, but I can't reveal the name of the victim in the department, okay? Why not? You gotta tell us the name. If you're gonna tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Well, case information, sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. Hold on. Detective, right? Investigator's ID card. I'd say the ID number, right? We already know he's a detective. Victim general. How about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. You won't tell me their name after all. Keep tight lid on ID number, so don't go get your hopes up. I'm ready. That's quite long. That's something right there. I have to remember these, it drives me nuts. Didn't you get the first number right? Oh, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? ID number of the victim of the police department. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think, meaning, it has to be what I think it is. What does this mean? Honestly, I have no clue what it means. Let's hear what the defense has to say. You say that ID number of the car detective who was murdered at the police department and tell you something? What did it tell you? Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on the prom night. No, I got confused. And this is news. Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Same time, same detective, same way of killing. Different places. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember. This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from Chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten. You even got the first number wrong again. The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189. Wait a second, right? What is this? That's exactly what we're confused about, Edgeworth. Mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed him in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, sharp as a tack, righto, sharp as a tack. Wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet a detective, Bruce Goodman, was also killed at the police department in the evidence room at the same time. It's impossible, so what we're saying is the same person was killed at the same time and in a completely different location. Yeah, what the fuck is going on? Order. Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said oof. Or did you hear me? Didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare we informed you yesterday? I believe it was our officer Meekins who brought you the news. Oh, and he denied it. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard of that name before? Is that poor cop who wanted a raise by the end of the month? Yeah, this one. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anyone on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. If you got a report, sir. You don't mean him. According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. The officer, he told me. He said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim name is written right on the top of the report. Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if the officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, really. But sir, you couldn't have submitted. You could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then I... No such luck this time, worthy, or should I say unworthy. Oof. What is the second rule of evidence law? Well, it's rule number 2, new evidence may only be submitted if it concerns a case on trial. And how is this relevant? Normally submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. What does it mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. Connection was just proven by Wright over here. Good job, Wright, my boy. I was just doing my job. No. Edgeworth, what's going on? You get that fucking King of Prosecution trophy, and then what happens? Seems we have come to the end of this trial. You're becoming a thorn in my side, Worthy. There have been rumors. After all, you were just in defendant's chair just last year. I apologize for this terrible act due to my diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. I'm sorry. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this courts. You'll grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will this be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it is not decisive. Very well, court is adjourned. Damn. This is absolutely gonna be a long one.